We live in a sexist society. We live in a society that favors women. We live in a society where women can get away with frickin' hell. Wow, did you hear that echo? We live in a society where women do in fact get away with murder. Now, I am not a full hardcore feminist, but if you look up on Wikipedia and look at the definition of feminism, feminism, as Wikipedia describes it, is defending equality between a man and a woman. In other words, if a man has the same job as a woman, they should be paid the same amount of money. And a woman shouldn't be treated as less than a man, as in a man is more superior. I believe men and women should be treated as equals. However, in our society, this is not the case. In our society, women are in fact favored, especially in the legal system. Now, if you don't believe me, you can click this link right up in this corner right here. It'll take you to my most recent video where we have these elementary girls who are stripping a elementary boy, touching him inappropriately, forcing him to the ground, stripping him in public, humiliating him, and then after doing so, they run to their house giggling and doing their little girl stuff, and they upload the clip to YouTube. The video was then removed, and the police in this particular case are charging these girls with a small little misdemeanor. This is a problem, as I already mentioned in my last video, that if it had been a boy stripping a young girl, doesn't matter what age of the boy, if it had been a boy stripping a girl, he would be instantly tried and he would be prosecuted and he would most likely be in prison already. He would be labeled as a sex offender. But in this particular case, these little girls are getting away with bloody hell and murder. They are not being treated equally as a man would be treated, and this is completely wrong. I don't give a rat's ass if it was a girl or guy. This needs to be treated as sexual assault. And in this particular case, these girls are being favored. They're getting a misdemeanor for something which is considered sexual assault. These girls physically touch this young boy. So let's reverse this situation. I'm going to create a whole new scenario. Suppose you have a wife who physically abuses her husband. And when I say physically abuse, I mean hits him, beats him. And this loving husband does not return violence for violence, but instead reports her to the police or something. Well, this woman gets tried with a misdemeanor or some sort. My point is that this woman will most likely not be punished as severe as a man would, and I believe this is completely wrong for many reasons which I'm not even going to get into. This is unequal rights. Now, suppose you have the man who beats his wife, and in many cases this is true. But in some rare cases, it is also true that the wife, the woman, the female also abuses her husband. These are a lot rarer cases, but they do in fact exist, and I'm not going to tell you that they do not exist, because they do exist. They do exist, and anyone who says that a girl can't be violent is an idiot. Women are in fact favored in society. We men are in fact discriminated against because if we rip the clothes off a young woman, we're a sex offender. We're perverts, and I rightfully so believe that if a guy is ripping off the clothes of a young innocent woman, he is a sex offender and a pervert and should be put into prison, okay? I'm not denying that. I'm not defending those type of people. But what I'm also not defending is women who do the exact same thing, and my video that I just recently did the other day proves this. I believe in the equality of a man and woman, and I do not believe we should sexually discriminate against one specific gender, and this gender happens to be female. If a woman beats her husband, she should be tried for domestic violence. If a man beats his wife, he should be tried as domestic violence. A woman should not ever be favored against because she is a woman. I believe in the equalness rights of a man and woman. That's about it. But I don't believe that women are completely innocent like so many people like to think, or girls like to think. Oh, I'm a girl. I therefore am nice and sweet and can't do anything. That's a load of pile of horse shit, and you and me know that. We as a society need to start realizing that our society that we live in today is in fact sexist, and we need to get off our big fat lazy butts and start speaking against this. Women and men should be treated equally within the legal system, and under no circumstance should a woman be favored over a man, and under no circumstance should a man be favored over a woman. That's all I have to say on the matter. Because if we as a society tolerate this type of sexual gender discrimination where women are favored over men, we're going to have more cases of injustice, like this 5th grader who was stripped, humiliated, and publicly posted on the internet naked. We're going to have a lot more cases of this, and we're going to have a lot more cases of pure injustice. And that is something I don't want to see on the female side or the male side. I want justice for both sides, and that's the way it should be.